What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Local Sports Tonight with Ivan Vargas. I'm Ivan Vargas. Welcome to the show. I hope you've had a good day. Before we get started, like, share, and subscribe to Local Sports Tonight with Ivan Vargas. It would help greatly. Got the Cubs on right now, watching 2-0 over the St. Louis Cardinals. Bottom five. You got a 1-1 count right here. Kyle Hendricks has been pitching pretty well. I'm not pissed by Kyle Hendricks' performance so far. Last game, Kyle Hendricks was ousted within 2 innings. Where I was actually at that game, very disappointed in Kyle Hendricks. We was expecting something to be changed. I didn't see it obviously, firsthand, but here tonight, he seems to be controlling the Cardinals rather well. It's a 2-0 game. Like I said, bottom five. He's pitched. He's thrown only 52 pitches. So that's a very efficient, very just good night. It's just all around very good night so far for Kyle Hendricks. He hasn't thrown many pitches. He's controlled the Cardinals lineup from top to bottom so far, and you got a 3-2 count right now. Let's see what happens. And he walks him. That's all right. He's walked Donovan. But Kyle Hendricks has been pretty solid. We'll see if anybody's up in the bullpen right now. But the Cubs, let's get back to the show. The Cubs, hey, I told you guys on Friday, if the Cubs were able to show me something within these next two series, maybe, just maybe, we could see something, post All-Star break that would be, I guess, considered a run, so a little bit of a run. It is the first half, and I have been very, very hard on the Cubs, and I mean, deservedly so. Quite honestly, deservedly so. Bullpen has had struggles. The offense has gotten in a situation. The Cubs turn a double play right there. 2 outs, bottom five. Kyle Hendricks gets the double play. Nolan Arenado grounding out. Huge double play for Kyle. He's been on fire. But going back to it, the Baltimore series, the Cubs dominated from the beginning to the end of the series. And it was quite impressive. I thought the Cubs were going to, have their struggles, but it seems like they were, I don't know, it seems like they were either either pissed off about what was being said about them or something changed. Something changed, within that, I guess, between that Angels and Phillies series. I guess something started to click with the Cubs. You started to see, some more run production here and there. The bats started to wake up. And then on Thursday night, last Thursday night, you had the 10-run, 10-run explosion against the Phillies in the finale of that series. And the Cubs, like I said before last Friday, the Cubs, I was expecting this to be, happening in May a little bit, maybe half of May, and not the slump that they had in May, and definitely expected this in June. But if you could see the Cubs continuing this pace post All-Star break, I could say there's a run ready to be had. You have a big opportunity here in the series against St. Louis. You got 4 games, 1 tonight, 2 tomorrow, 1 on Sunday. Then you got the All-Star break. You're off the 17th and the 18th, and then you're back in Wrigley against the Diamondbacks at 1:20. But Bud Friday's Mess Tanks day. It's always Bud Fridays. But to be honest with you, I was expecting a struggle against Baltimore, and it wasn't that. The Cubs win the first set 9-2. The second game of the series, they win 4-0, and the third game they win 8-0. They've and right now they're holding the St. Louis Cardinals scoreless. I believe this is a over 20 inning scoreless streak for the Chicago Cubs. Pitching wise, like starters and bullpen combined, and quite honestly, I'm impressed. I hope this continues. I still think that the Cubs need reinforcements when it comes to the bullpen. It's just it is what it is, right? It is what it is. You need what's up? What's up, Sergio? How you doing, bro? Thanks for joining. Uh, but like I was saying, man, like we need reinforcements. Like if you expect these guys to go into the dog days of the season and start winning games, just I don't know. That's I think that's kind of far fetched. If their bats wake up, awesome. But you need to if you're serious about winning and you're serious about making a run now, you need to go ahead and find pitching that could shut down opponents late in the inning. They've been doing all right. They've had, they brought Biggie up. They've had a couple of the guys get healthy, but I still think that they're one, maybe two pitchers away from really having a shut it down, you know, lights out bullpen. But like again, it still worries me about some of the struggles. I hope they're beyond it. I still would like something else. I still would like something more when it comes to the Cubs bullpen. But as of now, like I was mentioning before, man, it was an impressive series. Impressive series. Let me go to the box scores. First game and in the bats. Let me get back to the bats. They were on fire. It almost seemed like every uh, run that was scored off of a a double or a triple or just a extra base hit nonstop. It was very exciting. I almost felt like it was too good to be true watching them play one of the top teams in the league and doing what they did, but it happened. And the box reads it as such. Nico Horner in the first game, we'll read the first game, 9-2 Cubs. Nico Horner 1 for 5. You had Michael Bush 4 for 6, and Nico Horner was 1 for 5, 1 RBI, 2 runs. You had Michael Bush 4 for 6, 1 RBI, 2 runs. Bellinger was 1 for 5 with a run. He had a walk. You had Suzuki 2 for 5, had a run, 2 RBI. You had Hap. Hap has just been on a freaking terror. 2 for 4, 3 RBI, 2 runs batted in, or 2 runs scored, 1 walk. And his stats get better. Like, don't worry. Like, he continues to progress. Morel struggled. Morel struggled. He was 1 for 4, but Morel has been struggling at the plate. It seems like he runs into a home run here and there, but he's just not consistently driving the ball. I would want him to, like, I would say if he starts focusing more up the middle, driving up the middle, I think Morel could find himself back where he was in April. But can he be patient enough to do that? He's shown patience before. He's shown better patience. He's shown growth at the plate. He's shown that he's been able to hold off of some bad pitches. But there's just, I don't know, something about Morel right now hasn't been clicking either. And it is what it is. Mastrobuoni was 2 for 3 in that first game of the series. 1 run scored. You had Nito 1 for 4. 1 for 4 with an RBI. It's just all around a dominant performance by the Cubs, in the series. But that first game was very impressive. 4-0 in the second game. Not as many fireworks, but if you continue to look at the Cubs, Nico Horner, as a ball ricochets off of Sonny Gray, and Seiya Suzuki beats it to first. Seiya is safe. It's the top of the 6th. 2-0 Cubs. Sonny Gray, looks like Sonny Gray was hit by the ball. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, Seiya hits a chopper right back to the pitcher. It goes off of Sonny Gray. Seiya's able to beat it. It goes off of Sonny Gray. It looks like his hip and goes right to Paul Goldschmidt. But Seiya Suzuki was able to wheel it out and get the bag. Seiya has been come in alive too. And I was ready to jump all over say today, but seeing how he performed in the last series, how he's performed, pretty much since that Philly series when the bats started waking up, I've withheld my frustration as they go ahead and they check out how Sonny Gray is feeling after he was hit by the ball. Going back to the second game against Baltimore, 4-0. Nico Horner, as I read the stat lines, 2 for 5, 1 run scored, 1 RBI. Michael Bush, 2 for 5, 1 run scored, 1 RBI, matching stat lines. Cody Bellinger, 2 for 3. Miles Mastrobuoni came in for him after he got hit by the pitch, and Cody Bellinger is now on the 10-day DL with a fractured finger. Is it the 10-day? I believe it was a 10-day, but regardless of that, he's on the DL. He will be out for the Cubs. And I feel like honestly, it could be. Hopefully, Cody comes back healthy. Hopefully, it's not as a serious type of break. Maybe it's just like a hairline or something like that. Maybe something, whatever it is. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's best for a break, but hopefully, it's not something that holds him out a significant amount of time. Although I am happy, Candelario or not Candelario, Canario. I believe I said his name wrong again as well. The young man comes up for Cody Bellinger. He deserves a shot. It's kind of frustrating that he's gone, but maybe we get to see what the young guy has. Maybe he goes ahead and brings some pop to the lineup when he's able to start. So the Cubs, like I said, continue on. Morel struggles. Happ went 0 for 4 that game. Suzuki was 1 for 4. You had actually, excuse me, Morel was 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run. I'm sorry, Happ struggled that game. He was 0 for 4. Bodie came in. He came in defensively late in the game. Swanson was 2 for 4, and Dansby Swanson 2 for 4 with a run. Dansby Swanson as well. He's one of these guys that has come alive as of late, and I'm happy to say, thank God, finally, thank you, Dansby. You're doing something now. Like, you're driving the ball, you're hitting doubles to the gap. You're not just up there hitting weak ground balls or popping up weakly, striking out. It looked like an adventure for Dansby. In this first half of the season, like regardless of what point you want to point to, but hopefully he's over what it was and he's coming around. I wouldn't mind if it was motivated by some of the talk around town, some of the some of his own frustration. But yeah, Dansby Swanson waking up is a huge plus for the Cubs. Pete Crow Armstrong, 1 for 4. And Miguel Amaya 0 for 4. Miguel Amaya, it's got to do better. It's got to be better, Miguel. I don't know. This Cubs catching tandem and just the entire catching situation, I don't know what's going on. We might have to get reinforcements from the outside, if you will. Looking at the final game of that Baltimore series, 8-0. Yeah, Nico Horner, 2 hits, 1 run. Or excuse me, 2 for 4, 1 run. You had Michael Bush having a night, 2 hits, 4 at-bats, 2 RBI, 1 walk, 3 runs scored. Seiya Suzuki, 3 hits, 5 at-bats, 3 RBI, 1 run scored. Ian Happ, 1 for 4, 1 RBI, 1 run scored. Canario was 0 for 1. Morel was 0 for 4. Swanson 2 for 4, 2 RBI, 1 run scored. Mastrobuoni 2 for 4. Crow Armstrong 0 for 4. Nito 1 for 4 with a run scored. The Cubs were on fire, and they only gave up 5 runs, or excuse me, five hits that game. The game before that, they gave up 9 hits, but they gave up no runs. And I believe that game, or the game the final game, Baltimore did have situations where they drove the ball and had you know multiple multiple innings where they had guys on. They had doubles hits, on maybe one or two out situations, and they were just able to. The Cubs were just able to get out of it and ended up getting the sweep of the Orioles. And very impressed, very impressed. Let's look at let's go ahead and tally it all up. You got 21. They outscored the Orioles 21-2, if my math is correct. 21-2. Now, again, I need to see this for a little bit. I need to see it in post All-Star break. I need to see it against this Cardinals team right now. It's a tight game. It feels like it's not a playoff atmosphere type of game, but it feels like this one is, these series in the National League Central are about to get real. If this Cubs team can awaken their bats and figure out some stability or continue the stability that they've had within these maybe last couple series with their bullpen. Again, I would like to add some more, but maybe there could be a run and make this NL Central interesting. The Sox are on as well. They're losing 4-1 top 8 to the Pittsburgh Pirates. I guess we could transition to some Sox talk. I will still talk about the Cubs game as it goes. Looking at the White Sox again, we talked about Eloy, we talked about Crochet, we've talked about Robert. At this point, I think all three of them, maybe with the potential, because you could get, like I said, you could get the most for Crochet. You get the most for Crochet, but with the potential of Crochet and Robert, and you getting a huge, return in whether it be younger players. Obviously, you free up room for other guys that maybe move up. I just feel like the Luis Robert, the Miguel Moncada. I feel like this experiment with these guys has run its course. You might want to say, oh, well, look at Lou Bob. He's a physical specimen. He could hit for power. He could, he could fly across the field. Well, he also has injury concern. Eloy, we all know about Eloy's injury concern. And then there's Crochet, which is, to be honest with you, Crochet would be on any playoff team right now to go and probably add a guy like Crochet where you could potentially, work something out for a long-term deal and keep a young man in your organization for a long time, as well as having him for this playoff run. Man, you could get a hell of a lot for a guy like Garrett Crochet. You could get a hell of a lot for him. And like I said, to me, if you're a White Sox fan, and this is no shade because I am a Cubs fan. This is no shade. It's just you need to be able to move forward. And at a certain point, when is that going to be? Right? Chris Getz, he's a new GM. He needs to make a splash. He needs to make a name for himself. He can't just, ho-hum his way through this. Like, there's going to be hell to pay at a certain point. And they're already calling Chris Getz, White Sox fans, that is, and, well, I'm to be honest with you, people who just pay attention to what goes on 35th and Shields. You don't know if that's ever going to, you don't know if they're going to make the right choices. You don't know if they're going to go ahead and pull the trigger to do that. We all know about how Jerry doesn't like the rebuild. Like he won't fully tear it down, right? He's got to hold on to something to put your asses in the seats. But again, at a certain point, you're not going to get people for the matinees. You're not going to get people going out there and wasting a ticket because it's cheap because your team sucks. What's the point? At a certain point, they're just wasting their money on expensive beer and food watching a shit product unless you have another team that's great coming in like the Dodgers, the Yankees, or anybody else really this year in the league. You know, you're not going to get those Sox fans coming in. It's just, to me, that's not what they're going to do. They're not going to waste their fucking money on a shit product. So, what do? Right? If you're Chris Getz, my opinion, man, Chris Getz. Oh, I forgot to bring up. Well, here with Cubbies first, and we'll bring up the White Sox. There we go. If you're Chris Getz, I really feel like you should just go, just rock out with your cock out, man. Just let your nuts hang. Go ahead and trade a guy like Lou Bob, who hasn't. To be honest with you, he looks like a prima donna out there. He doesn't look like the guy that's gritty, that works hard. He just looks like he was given a gift, given a shit ton of money. Excuse me, when he didn't deserve it, when he didn't earn it, and now look how he acts out there. Now look how you feel. Half the time I'm like, Lubop, are you really hurt? Are you just trying to take a break? Same with Eloy, but I'm not going to go ahead and speculate whether they are faking or not. It is what it is. It's just, why can't you have the same type of attitude that reflects the type of like they're like when you look at a superstar, you expect that superstar to take the mantle of the team, right? You had a guy like Abreu, who was a leader. Abreu was getting old, granted, but he was still a leader. That locker room, man, from Ricky Renteria to fucking Tony to Grafal, this locker room has to. I could liken it to shredding cheese, just a grinder. Like you have been put through a grinder. I would, to be honest, you might as well have stood with Ricky. You might as well have stood with Ricky Renteria. He could relate to the guys. You know what I'm saying? I know Tony could speak Spanish, but like them losing a guy like Rick Renteria, and this is all in retrospect because like you see how it worked out for the Cubs, right? For whatever reason or another, it worked out for the Cubs. But you see how the Sox were playing with Ricky. That team was on the rise. I think Jerry just did what he like I said, did what the fuck he wanted to do because that's what he wanted, regardless of how it affected the chemistry of the locker room. Because I think that might have been where it all changed, because you had a guy like Ricky Renteria with young kids relating to like working with them, relating to them, knowing he probably knew their tendencies already. Ricky was hungry. I'm not saying Rick Renteria was the best, is the greatest manager, but shit, man, when you have something good going, you question why it got changed in the first place. And Ricky took him to a playoff. They underachieved in that playoff against the A's. Did Ricky deserve to get fired? I don't know. I'm not. I looking back at it, no. But then again, thinking about who the owner is, thinking about who Jerry is, and how things have played out in both of his franchises, it's very. It's not as surprising as you may think. Not as surprising as you may think. Uh, I'm for all three of them going. Crochet, Robert, Jimenez, Moncada, wherever the hell he is. I believe he's injured. Whatever. Just he's got to go to. Maybe somewhere having creating another music video or whatever he does now on his spare time. But not good. Not good for the White Sox. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it is what it is, man. Hopefully they move forward. Hopefully they find some type of path. I feel like these three guys, maybe even Vaughn, like if they could find somebody, maybe all these guys that you see right here, these four guys, maybe all of them are off of this, background before the trade deadline. Maybe they're all gone. I'll have just a clear background of the stadium, no players. Or maybe I should have under construction or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something smart ass like. But regardless, get better because it's hard talking shit to a last place team. Like it really is. It's just like you don't really matter. It's better when both teams are interesting, when both teams are competing. Because then the shit talking really matters, doesn't it? I mean, it really gets, really gets fun, really gets intense. But nonetheless, let's move forward. I have nice Master Boney into third off of a Pete Crow Armstrong hit. First and second, 1 out, top 7 for the Cubs. Still 2-0 over St. Louis. We'll go with the sky. This is the big question with the Chicago Sky. Does Angel Reese deserve, or is Angel Reese the front runner for Rookie of the Year? Like I said before, it comes down to two women. It comes down to her, Angel Reese, and Caitlin Clark. Well, let me go ahead and. If you're wondering, I'm drinking Chug Life tonight. From what is this? I'll give you a free plug. Mars Community Brewing Company, Chicago, Illinois, USA. Mars with a Z. Beer. It's not bad. Chug Life. I didn't choose the Chug Life. The Chug Life chose me. But anyway, let's go back to the Sky. Angel Reese has been very good for the Chicago Sky. She's been a top rookie, quite honestly, a top player, regardless of experience in the league. Now, there's a question, and there's people out there, and I just don't know how I feel about the accusation. Like, maybe it's real, maybe it isn't, maybe it's just it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is physically, she has gifts to go ahead and go up and get rebounds, and she is athletic enough to and fast enough to be able to maybe make a mistake and correct it quickly. But then I saw some of the stat lines. I'm like, man, that's a lot of misses. That's a lot of rebounds. Maybe it's not as impressive as you think, but it still happened, right? Still happened. It's happening. It's happened 15 games in a row. But then there was the other night. Who were they playing? Was it the Liberty? I forgot the team they were playing. It was said that she, late in the game, got down to the post, called for the ball, got the ball, drew a cheap-ass foul. Maybe it wasn't the Liberty, but either way, She drew a cheap ass foul, got to the line, hit the two buckets, got her double double. All she needed was one. I think she had 9 points at the time. All she needed was one. But regardless, to me, I'm like, hey, if you care, okay, maybe not with seconds left, throw it to the post. Maybe like, hey, give me the ball. I'm gonna dribble up. I'm gonna take this one on one or something like that. And try to drive and maybe to get it. But there's some people that are pissed off about it. I don't know if you're somebody who wants a record, and you're especially if you're young, go ahead, go get the record, go make it as long as you want it to be. Stretch it out. Were they up big? Yes, they were up big. Did it matter? No, it didn't matter, but it mattered to Angel. So I feel like if you want the WNBA to succeed, it obviously things like this need to matter to the players, and it matters to Angel Reese, right? And do I agree with everything? Hell no, I don't agree with everything Angel Reese says, or does or whatever. I just, we're not. I'm not an advocate for her, but I'm just me being, a sports fan and seeing everything from the outside looking in. This one where she goes ahead and she extends, pretty much forcefully extends her double double streak. Yeah, I don't see it as a I don't see it as a huge deal, right? Now if it was like if there wasn't that situation, right, where there still wasn't a record to be made, like there still wasn't a continuation of that record. Okay, if it was like Angel, you have 3 points or 5 points. I'm just not saying that it would ever happen or whatnot, but maybe you have a bad night. Maybe you have 5 points and you're up big. And that's when I'd be like, okay, that's a little too much. But all she needed was 1 point. All she needed was 1 point to continue it. So I'm not pissed off at her about that. That's to me, it is what it is. When it comes to rookie of the year, I just don't see it. I honestly I don't see it. She could be a double double machine. That's fine. She's still being beaten by Caitlin Clark in a plethora of categories, and it's not even including points, including points. So it's hard to deny Angel Reese's talent. You can't really deny her talent in the WNBA. She's just going to get better. She's still young. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully the focus is just basketball with Caitlin Clark. But nonetheless, I think Caitlin Clark is the clear front runner for Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese, obviously, Angel Reese a very close second. There's nobody like it. Like we're only. I'm literally. Whenever we talk WNBA, the two names that come out first out of everybody's mouth: Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. So to be right there, I don't think it should be considered a diss. Just motivate your ass. Like it should be motivated. Like I don't think you should hate Caitlin Clark because of the glitz and the glamour and the fame. I don't think you should hate her at all. I think you should be motivated by her to go ahead and know that you're right there. Like when they mention Caitlin Clark, they're obviously going to mention Angel Reese. So, my opinion, just keep your head down, Angel. Keep working hard, doing what you're doing. Stop, feeding into some of the BS that maybe has been created by outside opinions, right? Outside forces have probably created this. Maybe like I said, totally believe there's a little jealousy. I mean, not maybe not a little jealousy, maybe a lot of jealousy, but It's not only coming from Angel Reese; it's coming from all over the league, and I just think it needs to be, it needs to be over with because right now you have an opportunity to have your Bird and Magic type of run where you have two women who obviously are on the polar opposite ends of the spectrum. You have two teams in the Midwest where basketball is born, or where basketball. I would say where basketball is born. Well, yeah, where was basketball born? Kentucky, Kansas. Regardless of that, you have two Midwestern teams in Indiana and Chicago that love basketball, and you could have a very, very prominent rivalry, right? This could be the best, one of the best rivalries, if not like the one that sets it on the mark in the WNBA, right? What's up, Stephen? Massachusetts. What's going on? Yeah, it's like I said, it could be something for this league that could drive it forward, and possibly create, other storylines and scenarios, and it just opens the door for good things all around for everybody. As long as they could go ahead and be friendly-ish, be competitive, but yeah, don't go try killing each other. All right, we'll get to the Bears now. Bears talk. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here soon. I'm exhausted. See, I got plugs all up over here. 606 Media Group sponsoring us. Appreciate you, Jose. Got TTNL, of course, up in the left. And obviously my show, another Bears show coming back. Probably, I'll say it's coming back during training camp. I'll pop up during training camp because I will be there. Uh, I'll see that. Thank you, Stephen. Massachusetts. Okay, thank you, Stephen. I was had too many few chug lives, too many chug lives right now. So yeah, thank you. So Massachusetts, where basketball was born. Uh, so for the Bears, looking forward to just seeing how Caleb and obviously the stuff on the field, is important to me. But I want to see how he interacts with the fans, interacts with his teammates, right? I want to see if he's alive out there, like because for me, I just feel like I don't know, maybe maybe Caleb being more open, than Justin, maybe him being more loose and I don't want to call Justin unconfident, but maybe just sure of himself, maybe a little more, you know, open to social interactions is more than Justin. I want to see how that plays out, how he interacts with fans. Um, just see what he does. Does he take the time to stay out there and talk to people, or does he? The little things matter to me with this kid because I really feel like we got one. I truly feel like we got one. And, if you're a fan of The Tape Never Lies or you're a fan of my show, another Bear show, you know, if you're a fan of us in general, how we all feel about Caleb Williams and where this Bears team can head. You're damn right, Steven. It's, I hope I could find more. I hope somebody has extra training camp tickets out there because I'm like, whenever I could, get the day off or make it, I want to see this team in that Hall of Fame game. Once they put the jerseys on and they're playing against other another team, and you're seeing different colors out there. Excuse me, seeing different colors out there. It's just in my dreams. It's like every day I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I can't wait. I got my Caleb Williams jersey hanging up there, uh, right over to my right, ready to go. just pumped up, man. Can't wait for this thing to start. Yeah, yeah. You know, regardless of what Caleb does, I just hope. I honestly hope it's the Bears made the right choice. I don't want to go ahead and speculate. Like, I truly believe that the Bears want to win a Super Bowl. These are moves to go out and win a Super Bowl. And if you're choosing a guy like Caleb Williams, not saying you're going to go out and do it in your first year, but I think you're in your career, you are expected with your position, with the amount of hype that's been brought up with you, the expectation is going to be there regardless. So Caleb Williams to me just needs to show that he can handle the camera, he can handle the spotlight, and there's nothing that's shown me that he cannot. Because what we're going to expect is more cameras. We're going to expect more press. We're going to expect outside media. You know what I mean? There's going to be people from all over the place coming to see Caleb Williams that are going to be at House Hall. That's honestly and we talked about the shit show that was the ticket sale and all of these scalpers that went ahead and grabbed them and are now selling it for $400 on somewhere else. First of all, fuck you for doing that because you screwed a lot of real fans out of an experience. But nonetheless, the Bears need to figure something out about that. Regardless of that being said, you're going to get people all over the place. I'm sure there's been plenty of tickets from I'd say non-local, non-Chicago land, Chicagoan people that are going to be coming in as well, trying to see Caleb Williams, trying to see Roma Dunze and Keenan Allen, and trying to see what this Bears team is cooking during training camp. So I'm excited about it. A little disappointed that couldn't get more tickets for training camp, but I got what I got. I appreciate it. Shout out to my guy Doug Connell. He was on it. Like I was at work trying to refresh my phone and I got screwed out of it, but he had like four laptops up and shit. He was ready to go. Like, so shout out to Doug for being prepared and snagging me one so I could check out the Bears training camp. Steven says, as Shane would say, we need a bunch of flashes in the game. Yeah, we need more than that. I need more than I need sustained drives like from the entire team. Like I want to see Caleb flash, obviously, but I want to see this offensive line look competent, look angry, look like they are, familiar with one another. Like it doesn't look like five strangers just met at a bar and are trying to go block the Dallas Cowboys right now. So yeah, it's very what was it? Did StubHub shut it down on the Steven, I don't know. I didn't take a deeper look into it. I'll probably do that after this. But yeah, it was a shame. It was a shame. Like I said, I'm pissed off. I'm appreciative of my boy, and hopefully everybody that got tickets that I know that are true Bears fans, have fun, enjoy it. Like I said, the experience, me being there, a few times already now, I think the experience could change, sure, should change. There should be other things done or could be done, but then again, the Bears are the main attraction. So I get that they don't want people to be distracted, but you could do other things that would not deter from watching the Chicago Bears training camp, especially rolling the bleachers closer to the field that you're actually practicing on, so people could see it. 100 yards away, isn't a great view to watch a football practice. Uh, Regardless, like I don't care who the fuck is up there. Like, okay, bring them. Like it should be, you should be right on top of the action. And I feel like it would benefit the Bears anyway because you're simulating like crowd noise. You got they got the music playing and shit, and it's all like, oh yeah, let's all chill and it's all cool and so. Well, okay, but maybe having the crowd closer, maybe having that, you know, that feeling of, oh wow, there's people actually right on top of us watching. Maybe it helps a little bit. Maybe there's you never know what the feeling could be if you don't try it. So for me, move the fucking bleachers up, especially when you're when they're on the two fields at Hallis Hall, right behind Hallis Hall. Get more intimate. Is that gone? Get up. Get up. No, it's gonna be on the warning track. Top eight, 2 outs. Ian Happ just flied out to right field. 3-0 Cubs. Back to the Bears. I'm so excited to see like just everything. And it's not just like I said, not just Caleb. I mentioned the offensive line, the defensive line, Falus. I want to see this team hit their stride. And I'm not saying they're going to come out 4-0 or whatever. But I want to see them hit their stride. I had a crazy prediction on how they could their season might go. I feel like the beginning of the season is a little more favorable for them. The back end of the season is a little tougher. But regardless of that, I got to see this entire team perform. Defense, special teams, offense, top to bottom. Consistency is the key. Was it finally the Cubs got their head out of their asses? Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Scott. Oh yeah, yeah. The 115 game or the late game at 7. Yeah, I mean, even would be nice. 3-1 would be better. I believe I had the Cubs. I believe I had the Bears going 3-1. 7 o'clock. Okay. Uh, yeah, I had the Bears going 3-1. I believe. I think they lose to. Oh, man, I think they lose the second game. Did I have them in? Or regardless of that, like I have the Bears pretty much handling the first half of the season, and then really running into a buzzsaw when it comes to some of the other teams that are mentioned in the upper echelon of teams in the league. Uh, Alan says I'm going to the late. Man, maybe I should go. Should I go to the late game? I mean, damn! Like I would have to fly. I would have to move my ass all the way down to St. Louis really fast, but uh, driving wise. But yeah, everybody's going to the game tomorrow. Either way, but what gave it away, Steven? I know exactly who you guys are, but no, I was talking about Alan too. Um, yeah, well, Alan, I'm not sure 7 hours in a car is what I want to do tomorrow. I got a lot of beer in the fridge, so I got a TV. So I'll wave to me if you're on. If you're on the big screen or something, you see a cameraman, just wave. But anyway, like I said, really excited about the Bears. Hard Knocks can't get here. So I'm hopefully, and I'll mention this like before we wrap things up about this whole uh, contract situation. Yawn, yawn, yawn. It's a non-story. Again, I believe, and I mentioned this on uh, Keep It at 100 on Wednesday. Caleb Williams is not dumb. He's not going to, try to force something that just isn't going to be. I know you have an idea of what your worth is, and that's fine. But think about you're about to go on Hard Knocks. They're ready to see you, right? You've pretty much, like the diva title has pretty much been debunked. Why would he go ahead and pull something like this? And I know, look, you get your money, right? But it doesn't really match the Caleb Williams I come to know, right? It just seems like Caleb's waiting for uh that first episode of Hard Knocks. Boom. You got the first thing that probably happens is Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze sign their contracts together. Right? That's probably the very first thing that happens in the opening scene for Hard Knocks. Maybe not the very opening scene, but within the first couple minutes of the show, I expect Roma Dunze and Caleb Williams to be signing their contracts and walking out onto the field. And it's yes, exactly. Keep them suspended, Scott. Keep them waiting. Keep them wanting more. Why not? The guy's a showman. Like, he's a fantastic football player. He's a well-rounded, well-rounded man. You think that he doesn't have an idea about how to, you know, get things going, about how to draw attention to market himself? Isn't he about to start some type of marketing firm? No, I believe it was is it an investment firm? No, exactly. He's a businessman. He's a businessman. Thank you, Stephen. Yes, he's not dumb at all. That is all of a sudden, boom, everybody watches. Oh my God. Did you check out Hard Knocks? Even if you didn't fucking check it out, you're gonna go check it out because they just signed their contracts. And you know what I mean? And it was part of it. And it's just, yes, investment firm. Okay. An investment firm. So yeah, what's all verbiage, Alan? Let's be more specific. Are we talking about them not signing? It's all verbiage. Like they haven't signed yet, but they are ready to sign. Okay, then I understand. Okay, yes, then I understand. Um, so again, not worried, not worried one bit. I don't feel like that they would either man would do something like that when they know. I'm sure they've talked to Rand Poles. They know the temperature of the fan base. They know what we want right now. We want a fucking winner. They're not going to go ahead and do something that's going to put them behind the eight ball with the fans, with the organization, with the image that they're trying to create here with the Chicago Bears, with their own brands and image. I just don't see it. Chalk it up. I'll take it right here. I'll call it right here. The first episode of Hard Knocks, you'll see the contract sign, and the new era will begin. Book it. All right, guys. I'm gonna roll out of here. I'm tired. I'm gonna have some more chug lives. Well, actually, I think it's my last chug. No, I got one more chug life. One more chug life. It's pretty good, actually. It's not bad. 4.8. Not too heavy. Solid. Hopefully the Cubs could hold on and bring us a victory. There's top 8. Oh, and Bodie pulls it down the line. Foul. 2 men on. Second and third. 2 outs. It's a 2-2 count. Cubs up 3-0. Bodie at the plate, man. I'll stick with you guys till the end of this inning, and then I'll wrap things up. But Bodie has a huge opportunity to break this open for the Cubs, and it's a chopper. Oh, foul! He gets new life. Yeah, David Bodie. You kind of wonder why he wasn't up here sooner. Especially defensively. Like if you have questions about Morel or Mastroboni, honestly, David Bodie wasn't. I never really had a problem with him in the field. It was just, yes, that's a double down the line. David Bodie, that's going to score 2. And he is on second base standing. And the Cubs have busted it open. It is now 5-0. Cubs over the Cardinals, top 8. David Bodie pulled the ball down the line. Huge hit for him. Huge hit for the Cubs. Cubs keep freaking rolling, man. Oh, right over the bag at third. Arenado had no chance. It was just way out, almost hit the blue, but it was just out of his range. Pretty much as far as you could pull it without pulling it foul is what David Bodie did. Huge. Now you got Pete Crow. Pete Crow had a bunt earlier in this game. He beat it out. Amazing speed. Pete Crow Armstrong just the wheels on the kid. Just a deer, an antelope, whatever you want to call it, a gazelle. It's just flying, bro. Ball gets away from Contreras. It's got to be hot as shit in St. Louis right now. I mean, it was hot today. Trust me, work was a bitch. Pete Crow flies out, breaks his bat. Oh, he slammed it. I imagined he broke his bat. And that ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Cubs open it up 5-0 over the St. Louis Cardinals. All right, guys, it's going to wrap things up for me. A little muggy, 81 degrees, a little muggy. Okay, see the muggy gets me. I'm not a muggy guy. I hate the mug. Not a mug guy. Mm-mm. Not even a mug root beer guy. Don't like the mug root beer either. No muggy, no mug, never. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good night. Have a couple for me. I'll have a couple for you. You know how things go. I'm Ivan Vargas. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to Local Sports Tonight with me. It'll benefit me greatly. Have a good night, boys. Peace.